Hey, this is Ben showing how to simply create an equipment from the technician portal. So the first thing we want to do is go under our equipment list over here and then hit the plus button. Then we want to create an equipment from scratch. Then we get this form where we need to input some data. First thing we need to do is the equipment description. We need to manually type in. So in this case, we're creating a D-wall compressor today. And then I need to assign the facility. Right now I'm under the Montreal facility. The equipment group, we'll add this one as a compressor. So here we have a couple of equipment group, just pick compressor. Then manufacturer, this one is easy, it's DeWalt. And then model number, we'll actually just copy this one over. And then serial number, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then what we want to do is assign a barcode to our equipment and then print this barcode, stick it to the equipment. If ever we have operators wanting to create a maintenance request, sometimes they don't know model number, they cannot read the serial number, it's not accessible, so they can just scan the barcode and then create a request. So what we'll do is we'll hit the camera button over here, and then this will fire up my camera. I'm using an iPad right now. So I'm using a QR code generator. In this case, it's compressor 1. I manually typed in this value. And then got to be ready. If I scroll a bit to the right, the camera will capture the QR code and it will populate this value under our equipment form. So if I scroll slowly on the right, there we go. It did scan compressor number 1. So we can just hit create a new equipment. We could also assign, let's say, standard operating procedure to this equipment. Let's do that. Let's pick this one up. And then it create new equipment. And now the equipment that is being created will have, you see it as an equipment ID. This is a serialized ID. We can define a bit of logic behind this serial number if we wanted to. Not to be confused with the actual asset serial number that we manually defined. So now let's try and find the equipment we just created. So instead of manually searching a description, we can hit the barcode functionality over here. Hit the barcode, that went a bit too fast. So it did open up the equipment, and then it just scanned this QR code over here. So I have this one. We also have another compressor it just created before. And let's create a subassembly to our compressor. A bit like this one that we just did. So we can select our compressor, hit the plus button again, and then create a subassembly. And then our equipment description, we'll pick a hose. So this would be a component of our compressor. And then we can skip the rest. Sometimes we don't want to capture the model number of a sub-equipment or a sub-assembly. It's always about value. So we can create a new equipment, and then you see our new compressor 128 has a hose underneath it. So if we want to avoid doing this process manually, what we can do is we can also select the equipment. Let's say we bought 4 of those compressors. I can create a duplicate of this equipment. If I select the compressor and it duplicate an existing equipment, like that, you see that it carries the standard operating procedure, carries the facility, carries all the information we did define. But what we would want to change is serial number 1235, and then is QR code number also. So we'll just remove this one. We'll go back to our QR code generator over here. Open up this one, fire up the camera, and then you see I'll just change compressor 1 to compressor 2, or maybe 3 in this case. And then if I scroll on the right, we'll catch this one, and then there we go. It did populate it. So if we create a new equipment, it's creating the equipment in the database, the backend. Then we'll go back to our compressor over here, and then just we'll change the filter over here. And if we hit the barcode again, we'll scan our barcode, and then we see we have our new duplicate compressor just over here. So that's it. This is how you would create equipment on the fly using barcode. You can have a technician running around the shop, and then every week looking for new equipment, printing barcodes, sticking them to the equipment, and then creating duplicates if we have many of them. So this is a very efficient way to document your assets. All right, see you next time.